hell yeah, what a comeback, what a great Team Spirit win this was. Man, we were good. Started clutch as normal. And as the Eagles scored while we still won, so perfect day. What's up guys, and welcome to today's video about the comeback the Minnesota Wild did tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, that's right, comeback, because we're that kind of team. We come back from games we're down in. We come back, we claw away through games if we have to. We go through war, hell, and benches if we have to get the win. And the Wild proved that today. Holy hell, that was just a perfect game to see. That felt like a playoff game that the Wild won through sheer grit and through sheer toughness. And obviously when you have to rally, that's never a good thing, because that means you had a period or two where you weren't playing to your best, where you were beaten in. However, that third period was one of the best I've seen the Wild play ever. But before we go into that, let's start with the first two periods, which were less than great. First thing you see when the lineups are announced is Devin Dubnyk isn't playing. I hope Dubnyk isn't okay, he's only sick. So you see that Kaapo Kähkönen is called up, which fine by me. He's been outstanding in the AHL. He gets the call up as backup, but you know Alex Stalock is starting this game. Also, Kaapo Kähkönen has already been called down, which seems that Dubnyk is getting better, which is good. I think this tandem of Stalock Dubnyk is a good tandem and has done really well this season, and I think he belongs in the AHL for this season. But let's see what happens in the next few years. I think he might become more and more of an NHLer. I have really high hopes to Kaapo. Also, if you want the name I butchered the most in this video already, Kaapo Kähkönen. We start the first period getting absolutely beat senseless. Like, we are really not showing up once again, which is the one thing you can take away from this game, is that, again, a little bit of a late start. But the Jets is also just a good team who just fights, and it's just tough to beat and just hard. And if you give it the room, they will create chances. One such chance fell to Kyle Connor, who got a rebound and wide open net, but somehow Alex Stalock makes a save where he lifts his leg up in a way I can't even do. That save in particular, holy hell, that's a save of the year candidate. I don't care what you say, that is definitely up there within the top 10 that's been made this season. And that's just a fantastic save to see your backup make in the start of a game, because it'll give you that, okay, we have a goalie this time, and he was really good, I think, Stalock, in this game. There is one that he allows that I think he should have saved, but the other one is like, nah, that's, again, just goal to beat you sometimes. But as the first progress, we kind of see that image of the Jets being really difficult to beat, but we have our breaks, we have our counter-attack, which is really well. Zucker is denied by a great save by Hallerbuck, who I think had a great first two periods, and then a really bad period. Unfortunately, we lose a face-off in our own zone, puck is thrown to the net. Bad rebound, I think, by Stalock, but at the same time, it's also a rebound that he sees late. It isn't cleared by a defender. I think maybe it have actually hit a stick on his way, so it's deflected onto him. He gives the rebound to probably the worst guy you can give a rebound to right in front of the net, Patrick Laine. Guess what? He scores. And I know Patrick Laine has been under heavy criticism this season, and he hasn't been great. However, he's beginning to warm up, he's beginning to score goals, and he's still Patrick Laine, so don't give him that space, don't give him that kind of shot, and he will score. A little bit of side note on Patrick Laine, he didn't have that power play shot today, because we did amazingly taking that away. That kind of shot, that Ovechkin kind of shot that Laine has on a power play on the left, that was taken away perfectly by our penalty killer, so well done. Really well done. But that's how we end the first period. The second period, we start getting more and more into the game. It's more and more close. It's more and more feisty. It feels more and more like that playoff game between two teams that is really close in the standings. The Wild try and fight their way into it. Unfortunately, that also means you sometimes take a penalty, and they took one too many. So it isn't the first power play unit, because as I said, they closed down the line shot. They closed down the first unit really well. Unfortunately, the second unit ends up having a Danish player on it, which is called Nikolaj Ehlers, who gets the puck, gets like some time with it, looks around, nobody's open, snapshot right through Stalock's leg, and it's like, okay, that shot probably shouldn't have gone in. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room now. Nikolaj Ehlers it's really hard for me not to want to have success because I'm Danish, but also the fact that he kind of comes from the same city as I do. He is from Aalborg, if you want to use the Danish terminology, and that's the city I'm living in at the moment. That is the place I live in. The hockey team that he supports in Denmark, the hockey team that he had his youth in, is the same hockey team that I had my youth in. That's the same hockey team that I watch religiously. As you can see, I also own the jersey, I own scarves, I own everything. This is a team that both me and Nikolaj follow. I know that he follows the team because last year during the final run that we had where we won the cup in Denmark, he was watching. He showed on Instagram that he was watching the games in Winnipeg, and he's just a household name over here. He is just a name that kind of makes the city proud because he's, first of all, a fantastic sportsman over there, but also he's the best Danish player that we have, maybe outside Fredrik Andersen. And he is the best shot that this city is going to get to having the Stanley Cup inside the city. So for that reason, I have a really hard time not wanting the Winnipeg Jets to do well. I obviously want Minnesota to win. I obviously want them to do better. However, watching Nikolaj Ehlers is always something that breaks my heart a little bit against Minnesota because I know he's going to score. He always scores against Minnesota, and I want him to score at the same time, but it's just frustrating when it's against the team I want to win because I'm so mixed emotionally about it. But yeah, Nikolaj, good job. Damn it. Can you score against the other teams and I will cheer for you all the way. I won't cheer for you against the Wild. Now, back to the Minnesota Wild and offered Aalborg Pirates, but let's get on with the Minnesota Wild and our fantastic third period, where we played out of our skin, out of our mind. We were so good, we were so fast, we were so ready for them physically. And especially one player was Nino Niederreiter. Nino Niederreiter got demoted to the fourth line, and he played with anger, he played with frustration, he played so well. He was just a pest, a bully. And guess what? That paid off with a Nino Niederreiter goal where he trusted himself to shoot, snipe Hellebuck. Doesn't see it properly. That beats him. 1 goal deficit. And we had to go a little bit into the game. I think it's 10 minutes left. Nino Niederreiter gets the puck down low and just fights his way through defenders. Gets it down low where he throws it in front where it doesn't look like it's get hit by a player first, but it does definitely get hit by him. But it goes towards the net. Hellebuck isn't squeezing the post well enough, and it's in. We are tied, and the Excel Energy Center is feeling it. Everyone is involved. Everyone knows we have a chance. We're in this game. And I think the players started to feel it as well on both sides of the field because all of a sudden mayhem happens. After a pretty dirty elbow by Lowry. I'm sorry, Jets fan, the elbow was right here by Lowry. That is not accidental. He went for Erik's face, hit him in the face, got 2 minutes, rightly so for that in my opinion. Unfortunately, the next thing that happened didn't benefit the Wild at all because Nick Seeler decided, I want to get a piece of Lowry. And Lowry was like, okay, we can have it, but I'll choose the arena of our bench. The door is open to the Jets bench. Lowry pushes Seeler into the bench. And because there's a player from another team inside the bench, mayhem ensues. All of the Jets players want a piece of Nick Seeler all of a sudden. And Nick Seeler has to defend himself and does that, of course. And because that happened, there's like a scrum towards the bench, like a big scrum for today's days. I know people in the 70s were like, oh, this is nothing. This was just like what we saw every other play. Well, no, it's new hockey, so get on with the times. This is not normal. This is playoff hockey feeling. And then the calls came, and I got very confused and very angry because how exactly did Jordan Greenway get a penalty when he did nothing but hold back an entire bench of Jets players towards attacking, I think, both Foligno and Seeler, who was in the bench? But he gets a call for roughing. Okay. Nick Seeler gets a double minor for roughing. Okay, I can see that. He went after Lowry after all and got into a scrum with the bench, fair enough. Lowry gets 2 minutes for elbowing. Okay, good. The first penalty, yes. And a double minor for roughing. So we play 4-on-4. Excuse me? I get that Seeler and Lowry goes in the same time for the roughing. However, how exactly does Jordan Greenway do anything that resembles a penalty, and how do we not end up on a power play on that particular play? I don't get the refs calling this one. I think it was blatantly wrong, but hey, I'm not an NHL referee. They do their job. They saw something I probably didn't. But we end up not going on the power play, and instead Suter makes a massive mistake after literally trying to murder Ehlers, as Ehlers also tried to murder Suter in the process within a good 20 seconds of each other. They have a fight, and I mean, that was old school, like cross-checking, slashing, everything was allowed. I just looked at them like, come on guys, we're not gonna do this, we're not gonna call you. Eventually, Suter ends up with a hand on Ehlers' head and pulled him backward. Fair enough, that's definitely a penalty, but the crowd definitely didn't agree, and at the time I was like, oh come on, Ehlers could have gone as well. He had like 10 bajillion roughings as well in that period, but hey, it's a stupid mistake by a veteran player who gets actually baited in by a younger player, which is kind of dumb that the younger player won that, because the veteran player should be the one that could keep the call come ahead. But yeah, hey, Ehlers makes a mistake. It's a power play for the Jets, which we kill. Suter gets out the box, gets the puck, gets into the zone, shoots on net, bad rebound by Hellebuck, and he thinks he can cover it. No, Eric Stahl pokes it in, and the crowd explodes, and so did my reaction, which was pretty hysterical because I ended up hurting my elbow against that wall. I haven't talked too much about this. Eric Stahl is the most clutch player in the league. He is so clutch. He always pops up with the goal when it's needed. He always does that little bit extra to get the goal, to get in the position to get the goal. But yeah, this is with 2 minutes left. The Jets try to go with the empty net. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Zach Parise gets it backhand, and it's in. 4-2. We win the war. However, once you win a battle in a war, guess what? You still haven't won anything yet. There's still a lot of games yet. This was one really good game and a character game that is important. However, we need to continue. We need to build on this. We need to build on the wins. We need to build on this, especially at home. As I said before, once you beat a divisional rival, that's always good. Once you beat them away is when it counts. And once you lose at home, it's devastating. So not losing at home, keep on winning away and at home is important. And this one was just good. It just felt good to win against the Winnipeg Paper Planes, didn't it? Now a little bit of a break for the Wild, which I think is good. We needed. Dubnyk is coming back, I think, for the next game. So good little rest for the players. They played a lot of games this month. And I think they've been doing really well, considering there was a little bit of a skid, but we came back and we did well, and we've shown a lot of heart to be always competitive against other teams. I'll end the video with that. Thank you very much for watching. Please click like, subscribe, all the other usual things, because the Minnesota Wild is a good team this year.